Welcome to Commercial Studies. Today I would like us to look at, or rather to continue with the previous topic where we were looking at Skills Development Act. So this one will be your lesson part 2. The content or subtopics that will be covered on this lesson are actions regarded as a non-compliance by the SDA. By SDA, I'm referring to Skills Development Act. Secondly, consequences for non-compliance with the SDA. Thirdly, ways in which businesses can comply with SDA. Let us look at the first point or the first subtopic. Actions regarded as non-compliance by the SDA or Skills Development Act. So we are looking at the things that are done by employers, trying by all means not to give access or afford opportunities to their employees. So these particular actions, according to SDA or Skills Development Act, they are regarded as non-compliance or against the provisions of the Skills Development Act. The first one is where companies or businesses are preventing qualifying employees to gain access to training opportunities. It might be a deliberate act, or maybe in their rules of the companies or codes of for the particular companies, you will have provisions that will clearly state that employees are not allowed to go to learnerships, or employees are not allowed to gain other experience through different kinds of training. It might be the issue of where this particular rules of that particular company, they are not even motivating, or there are no policies based on how does that particular company improves the skills of their employees. Secondly, preventing employees to access learnerships based on discriminatory grounds such as pregnancy, language, gender, or religion. Any barrier imposed by any kind of a business where they will discriminate, or they will give opportunities to a specific gender, or they will give opportunities or priorities with regard to a certain religion, because all those factors that I just mentioned, they do not even contribute when it comes to awarding opportunities. But these particular opportunities should be awarded to qualifying employees, depending on that part, depending on the provisions of that particular learnership. Thirdly, promoting skills development unfairly. For example, where only certain employees will benefit. So the main aim of a Skills Development Act is for all employees, regardless of their gender or religion. All employees should be able to be afforded the same opportunity, so that they are able to better their lives, so that they are able to gain skills, to gain skills and knowledge, so that they are able to apply for better position, they are able to earn more or higher salaries than previously. The next one, falsifying on any documentation such as tax documentation submitted to SARS and workplace skills plan. So we are looking at an action that may be undertaken by a business, trying by all means to appear as if they qualify to apply for this kind of training, for this kind of learnerships, painting the wrong image about themselves, so that they are able to benefit from this particular skills development. It could be the issue maybe they are having problems with SARS, but now they'll produce documents or financial statements or letters that will declare that everything that they are doing is in line with the provisions of the South African Revenue Services or the provisions of South African tax. Lastly, providing incorrect or irrelevant information to employees, misleading employees basically regarding the learnership so that they could have another version or a wrong version with regards to the intention or the purpose of the learnership and who is eligible to apply. So misleading or giving false information with regards to this particular learnership is also regarded as non-compliance by the Skills Development Act. Now, let us look at penalties or consequences for non-compliance with SDA. So now we are looking at what happens if a company is not uh, operating in line with the stipulations of your SDA. The first penalty, companies that do not comply with the skills development may receive a compliance order from the labor court, meaning that labor court does have power to make sure that they force or they compel companies or businesses to comply with the provision of SDA and also to comply with the provisions of the labor law. Businesses, the second one, businesses who neglect complying with SDA may receive large fines. So these particular businesses may be fined simply because they are failing to comply, they are failing to do as the Skills Development Act compels or advised them to do. Sometimes it could lead, depending on the seriousness of the transgression or the seriousness of the offense, it may also lead to jail sentence, which will depend on the severity of non-compliance. So it will depend on the level of transgression or the level of non-compliance, which will determine what kind of punishment or penalty that will be given to that particular business. The third one, businesses that do not comply with the SDA may receive large fines or imprisonment, which will lead to which will depend on the severity of a non-compliance. Also, again here they are also emphasizing what was discussed or explained on bullet number 2. Then businesses that do not pay SDL or skills development levy, your 1%, may not offer learnerships to employees or claim grants from the Skills Development Act, of which it makes sense because they are not contributing to the Skills Development Act or Skills Development Levy, to be more precise. Therefore, they can't get any benefits from this particular fund or levy simply because from the beginning they are not contributing. Lastly, the business operating license may be revoked. It means that the business itself might be in a position where it's forced to shut down all operations due to not complying with the provisions of the Skills Development Act. Lastly, let us look at ways in which businesses can comply with SDA. So here, basically, we are giving businesses some ideas with regards to how, or rather what to do to make sure that whatever that you do as a business is in line or is in compliance with the Skills Development Act. Firstly, you display a summary of the SDA in the business where employees can see. that particular information clearly. It means that you need to disclose this information, you need to educate your employees. The business itself must be transparent with regard to the Skills Development Act so that employees could be educated, employees could be enlightened with this information and be able to given opportunities to embark or rather to take advantage of these learnerships and training so that they could have better skills. Secondly, provide opportunities to all employees to improve their skills, meaning that as a business, be able to assist your employees. It's a position where you are able to empower your employees for them to be, or rather, to have improved skills. Thirdly, assess the skills of employees to determine the areas in which skills development is needed. Meaning that as a business, you should be at a point where you are able to identify lack of skills within your businesses. But you can only achieve that if you give yourself time to assess the performance of each employee so that you are able to identify or to come up with the right solution with regards to which skill is scarce in your business so that you can give employees the skills that they require most, the skills that are needed in your organization. Promote and encourage employees to improve their skills and to actively engage in leadership. Give them, allow them some days so that they could gain knowledge with regards to leadership. The reason being, once they are done with this leadership, they will also apply that knowledge acquired from this leadership, those skills that they have gained from those leadership in your business so that your business will also benefit financially and your business will also grow because you are now employing or you are now having employees who are fully qualified from being unskilled to skilled, from being semi-skilled to fully or rather to skilled. Employee who collects pay as you earn should register with SETA. That one we'll discuss it on our lesson, which will be part 3, where we are explaining the issue of SETA, giving more explanation with regards to what is SETA and how is SETA related to the Skills Development Act. Employers should submit all workplace skills plan and provide evidence that it was implemented. So also here we are looking at policies with regards to how to empower your employees, because that is important for a company to grow and be able to sustain or rather to have or to keep employees who are skilled within its organization. So this one is important because each company must have a staff development policy where it will clearly state how to identify scarce skills. Then once the company have identified these skills, what next to do? Maybe you organize trainings or learnerships. Then once they are done with their trainings, once they are done with learnership, what happens once they are back with these skills, once they are back with this knowledge? Then we've come to our then this is the end of our lesson. Thank you for taking your time and trying by all means to support my channel. May God bless you, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment so that you can give me ideas with regards to which lessons to focus more in so that we are able at the end of the year to assist learners to achieve desired results, but mostly to acquire the necessary knowledge or accurate knowledge when it comes to business studies, accounting, and economics.